Welcome to JP's Morning Brief, also known as the JP8 Report. Good morning, everybody. Just a slight change to how I'm doing my podcast right now. I'm going to, welcome everyone. Groundhog Day. But I got bad news. I just watched Punxsutawney Phil on the news, and he just forecasted 6 more weeks of winter. Don't blame me. Blame the stupid rodent they keep taking out of his den every year. But, so they're saying it's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. I'm tired of the cold weather, and I'm in Central Texas. I hate it. But it's here. All right. At least here in Central Texas, I just looked at the weather a while ago, and for the ones of y'all that are hurting right now, I just want to give you a bit of good news. Move to Texas, because by Saturday it's going to be 80 degrees in Copper's Cove. All right. Wow, that's not bad. High today is 69. I'm not faulting that. I can't wait. All right. I got women today before. I had to buy a new grill so I could actually grill for my wife, and I have that thing put together. Maybe I can grill for her this weekend. That'd be cool. I can smoke and I can grill. I got good skill sets. All right. And yesterday was her birthday, so we went out for a while, had some cake when we got home, relaxed. Got delayed on some of our times and stuff, but that's all right. It's life. But we had fun yesterday. I won't tell you my wife's age because she's asleep right now, because it's only 6:30 in the morning, right? And but we had fun, and it's Groundhog Day. Unfortunately, 6 more weeks of winter, according to Punxsutawney Phil. With the JP's morning brief, I'm just making some changes. The JP8 report ain't going nowhere. It's still going to be at 12 o'clock Central. In the morning, I'm going to do just a 30-minute brief and I'll go more into detail later on about the stories and stuff. But I'll give you some brief summaries and stuff going on. Still conservative conservative news articles and stuff. I'm unforgiving on that. If you like what I'm talking about and you'd like the expedited format, let me know in the chat. Give me a quick blurb, or give me an American flag or something to show me that y'all are alive. Okay. If you think I should change the my backdrop back here just for the morning brief, I can do that too. That's not a problem. That's just a JPEG, and I can do a combination of the JPA report at 12, and I can do the JP's morning brief at for the 6:30 version. Moxnex, I got a good skill set. I got my daughter Rachel. She helps me out with some of my graphics. Matter of fact, the one you saw this morning is an AI one. I'll transition back. That's an AI one. I can't believe my wife was shocked that I actually used AI to do something. But Rachel, in her infinite wisdom, said, "Dad, that sucks. Let me design you a better one." So she's going to college. She works full time, so we got to squeeze the time in. And then she said she'll do a better one for me. But for right now, we'll go with the AI version. In Terminator, what was it called? It starts with an S. I can't remember. It's too early in the morning. But so they're not taking over. Okay, so we'll live with that. So I'm still considering still doing the America 250 on the morning brief also, because our history is very important to us, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so Give me your ideas. Chime in. We got 6 people viewing right now, which is good for 6:30 in the morning. Let's get some more chatters. Show me some love, okay? Let's see. I have a letter here from Colonel James Easton to General Washington for the 2nd of February. 'Tis with the utmost regret that I give you, Your Excellency, the trouble of this knowing your great multiplicity of businesses, but faithfulness to the dear deceased General Montgomery. As we all know, he died at Quebec City, and his command. A love of liberty in my country obliges me to do it. You well, sir, by the letters and orders enclosed, see the minds of the generals who wrote them, and agreeable thereto, I called on General Schuyler in my march from Montreal, served him my orders, but he did not give me any particular orders. I have since sent to him as the bearer can inform, but got no answer. Should I be ordered to the northward again with a regiment, I am sure no time is it to be lost in raising it. I beg your excellency directions into premises, and am with great esteem your humble servant, James Easton, Colonel. P.S. Pray your excellency to send back General Montgomery's letter by the bearer, Captain Noble. Okay, so that was Colonel James Easton to General Washington. All right, and then we'll go do these guys real quick. Dalmatian is smash burgers and coves made and hot dogs made right here in Cove. They're all the ingredients are fresh and homemade, and they're located on the west side of Copper's Cove behind bushes. Now on Mondays, which is today, on Monday they're open only for lunch from 11 to 2. So give them a try. Try the armadillo. Like I need to get one. I didn't get one last week. All that bad weather kept me hibernating like a groundhog should be hibernating. All right. So if you notice, I'm wearing my damn Bongino shirt. Cannot wait for this morning. Because if you like Dan Bongino, give me an American flag, okay? He is really good. He's starting back today at 10 o'clock Eastern to noon Eastern on the Dan Bongino Show channel on Rumble, only on Rumble. So yeah, if you like Dan Bongino and you're watching this right now, give me an American flag. Good. He's the one that got me interested in doing podcasting, and I started this before he even left the DC. So I'm definitely not going to compete with him. I don't even want to think about who wants to be on the air between 10 and 12 Eastern during the daytime. Because if you think you're going to compete with him, got another thing coming. All right. So, but from 10 to 2 today, he is going to be on Rumble. Cannot wait. Right after this, I've already taken a shower this morning. I've already shaved. I'm fully dressed. I can stand up right now. I'll show you. I got my jeans on. Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm not one of those guys that shows up in shorts and flip flops and does a podcast all the time. That's crazy. I'm not even gonna ask y'all to chime in on the chat if y'all do, because that's scary. Right after this, I'm jumping in my truck. I'm going to the grocery store. I got some groceries to buy with the intent of being back here before Dan Bongino goes on the air. That's just how it is. I suspect. So if you think, okay, so I'm willing to bet there'll be, I was joking around the other day, I would say there's going to be a good 500,000 people 500,000 people are going to tune in to his podcast today. It probably crushed the servers on Rumble, but my guess, I'm going to type it in. So, Bongino. Okay, that's my guess for the day. 500,000, right? 500,000 will be tuning in. Comment over or under, okay? Let's see, and we'll report back tomorrow who was right, all right? Okay, so why was there 2 letters? That's going to have to stay for this afternoon. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was, let me go back to media. All right, and gotta get stuff ready here. All right, so up in Fort Worth, my hometown, there was an election this Saturday, and it did not turn out very well. All right, so oh man, I forgot. What was I going at? So some Democrat named Raymond won SD9 in Northwest Fort Worth on Saturday. And, the political hacks out there came out and just said the Democrats are going to win the midterms. They overturned an election in Fort Worth. So the Democrats have got the edge and everybody's going their way. Look, dude, there was a 20,000 vote margin for this Democrat over what's her name? Whamgans is her last name. Okay, but Leia is her first name. We'll go by Leia. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll over so y'all can see this. Okay, this is her statement. With election results nearly final, Leia Wamsgas, a conservative Republican candidate for Texas Senate, released the following statement: "Tonight is a wake-up call for Republicans in Tarrant County, Texas, and the nation. The Democrats were energized. Too many Republicans stayed home." Let me say it again. Too many Republicans stayed home. I've spoken with Mr. Raymond by phone and congratulated him on tonight's showing. Mr. Raymond and I will face each other again in November, and I fully expect the results to be different. The dynamics of a special election are fundamentally different from a November general election. I believe voters in SD9 and Tarrant County Republicans will answer the call in November. We begin our planning and preparation in November today. And then there's our website. And then next to it is just a screenshot of the election results. And you can see the difference, right? What you don't see, and then you'll see the map right next to it, the blue is Democrat, the red is Republican. The blue part is pretty much central North Fort Worth, and then the suburbs are red, right? I grew up right about here. That's where I grew up at. All right. So, go back. All right. So, what people are not saying is that in November 25th was the primary. Who in the world projects these? Jane Nelson is the one that's doing this stuff. She's advising the governor. Look, the next legislative session, they need to do away. There needs to be more election reform. They need to do away with these jungle primaries. Because what you had back in November, I wish I would have put it on there, was 2 Republicans and one Democrat. The Democrat got 48% of the vote. He couldn't cross the threshold. And the other 52% were Republicans. The Republican that lost, his name is John Huffman. John Huffman is a butthurt Republican. He would not even endorse. That's why I've been doing interviews with Republican candidates, and I'm asking them, every one of them, if you are not the nominee, will you support the nominee? And a majority of them said yes. Why are not Republicans in the primary saying they will support the eventual winner? Because we have no room in our party for butthurt politics. We have Democrats out there that, hey, they fall off the wagon, and then you got some guy that wins or some girl wins, and all the support goes to a singular winner, no matter how bad the other person did. Hey, I lost the primary to such and such. I fully support the primary winner, and I want all my voters to go vote for this person. That is what should have happened. Okay, that is what should happen. Because if you look at the difference between the votes, it's about the same number of votes that John Huffman had in the primary that didn't show up at the polls on this one. Not only that, we had an ice storm that came through. So that killed early vote. All right? And then election day was on a Saturday. Really? It was on a Saturday. Wow. And if you're a government employee, which a lot of them are, because you have Lockheed Martin, you have DFW Airport, you have Meacham Field, and all. First weekend with really good weather, what did they do? Took off. And nobody was hanging around to go vote. Not only that, you had Mr. Huffman that wouldn't even do anything. I'm going to show you another letter from him real quick. And then I'll go back in more in depth on this at noon, okay? All right. This is what John Huffman wrote yesterday. It is striking how many commentators on social media seem surprised that a special election runoff is different from a primary. Online energy and ideological signaling are not substitutes for real-world coalition building. Twitter does not decide elections, voters do. Voters showed up last night. This was not a turnout problem. Yeah, it was, stupid. Voters showed up last night. This is not a turnout problem. The GOP simply faced a broader, less ideological electorate where it actually is a runoff environment. In that failure, Tarrant County Republican establishment let President Trump down. Their inability to get out their own way, build coalition, execute in local level has allowed Democrats to gain a stronger foothold in Tarrant County than ever before. The damage was not done from Washington, it was done here at home. This runoff was marked by failed opportunities to unify. There was no outreach to 19,000 voters who supported our campaign in November, nor did Leia's campaign reach out to me until days before the voting began, leaving no time to unify. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Really? Another butthurt Republican. This makes me sick. You got guys like me that do our best to get, I'm not even looking at the camera, to get out the vote. I'm a precinct chair. I know what to do. I know how to do it. We don't need politicians. When you get out there and you talk to a candidate, one of your questions should be, if you lose, will you throw your support behind the winner? That answer should be yes, because it shows what type of candidate that person is. Are they an actual candidate, or are they a potential sore loser? I've seen too many sore losers out there. Too many. And then the opposition, the communist Democrats out there, beat good conservative Republicans because you got butthurt politicians that won't support the winner. What? Who is he fooling? All he had to say was when he did a concession in November, hey, I called Miss Leia and I congratulated her. And you know what? I want all my voters out there who voted for me. Let's get out there and vote for Leia. And let's keep this seat in the seat of the Republicans. That's all they had to have done. If you agree with me, say something. Put something in the chat. I'd like a little bit of support here because these knucklehead politicians say that they can actually flaunt the will of the Republican Party by thumbing their nose at it and telling or implying their voters stay home and don't support the Republican that won the election. Yeah, you can say, well, James, you sound like an extremist. You know what? The Democrats do it all the time. How about us Republicans do it and continue to win elections? We have a national election coming up in November, and our president's future is on the line because we know what the Democrats are going to do if they take the speakership, the majority from the Republicans. We know what they're doing. We do, and we also know there are. All you have to do is get online. The vile, hateful comments people are saying about the other party, or not the other party, the other people in the primary. I heard it the other day. They're like, come on, just campaign. Let's get it over with. What is you hear stuff about Sid Miller. Sid Miller's a good guy. I like him a lot. I'm voting for him. You know, I can do that. My name is James Pierce, and I fully support Sid Miller for our agriculture commissioner. At the same time, I know that our governor supports Nate Sheets for agriculture commissioner, but does that change my support for Governor Abbott? To run that primary, but he just says it's a time for change. We gotta let that go. If Sid fails to make the mark on primary day, I'm sure he's going to say, please vote for Nate Sheets. If Nate Sheets loses on primary day, I hope he says, hey, thank you, Sid Miller. That was a good race. I hope you win, and I fully support your campaign. That is what should happen. Always. Always. Here in SD 31, we have 10 candidates. I did interviews, I think it's 10 candidates. I was able to do interviews, and they're on here under the JPA report. You'll see 26 interviews. I did interviews with, I'm already running out of time, with several of them, and I think 3 of them told me they couldn't support the eventual nominee. Then what are you doing running for office in the first place? That is totally ridiculous. That should never happen. All right? So, a couple other things real quick. We went and saw Melania on Friday. Good movie. Very good documentary, regardless of what they say in the news media. I'm getting tired of some of these polls, a lot of these polls. They had a 11% Rotten Tomatoes on Melania and a 99% audience approval rate. How there's such a difference? Because the media hates anything to do with Trump. If you have Trump on your name, you're done, right? That's exactly how they are. Hold on just a second. Okay. Now, compare 2 years ago when the movie Reagan was made, right? starring Dennis Quaid. You know what its ratings were? 19% Rotten Tomatoes, 99 cents approval, audience approval rate. Same thing. Conservatives, the Hollywood hates anything to do with the conservative, especially if your name is Trump. If Biden would have made a movie and they showed a box with the auto pin on it, that thing would have got 99% Rotten Tomatoes and probably 10% audience approval rate. They hate Republicans. Get it through your knucklehead, hard-headed skull up there. Democrats, you will never win over a Democrat. You will never. Like Dan Bongino says, most Republicans are Democrats and no Democrats are ever Republicans. Get that in your mind and remember it, because they just don't care. All right? Man, Melania was a very good movie. And if you want to take a movie, it's rated PG. There was no foul language in it. There was no sex in it. No explosions. No gunfire. It was really good. It was really good. Very well made movie. We liked it. My wife loved it. So go out and see it. It made $7 million this weekend. It was the highest grossing movie that was a documentary in over 10 years. I don't know what the other movie was. All right. All right. Other quick news. There's an Indy car that's going to be in D.C. on August 20th, 1st to 23rd. The race is being organized by Roger Penske, and it's going to be called the America 250 Grand Prix. Trump's endorsing John Sununu over Scott Brown for the New Hampshire Senate race. And hopefully, Scott Brown is a good friend of the president's, but President Trump sees that John Sununu has a better chance of winning in New Hampshire, so he's backing him. So Scott, get with the president. If you got to drop your candidacy, go for it, or muscle through it, and then maybe you'll get an ambassadorship somewhere. All right? And then the speaker said he's confident. I'll be going over more of this in just a little while. Speaker Johnson said he's confident the shutdown will end tomorrow. All right? All right, so then let's see. I got a little bit of time. So, Lincoln Reagan dinner. Look in the show notes. You'll see the link to it if you want, or you can scan the QR code that's on the screen. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick will be there. He is on the 21st in Gatesville at the Texas Station Event Center. Tickets are $60 a person or $100 a couple. We have chicken and we have steak for the meal, and you can buy a table if you want. Okay, let me go back over here. So tell me what you think in the comments of the new format I'm working at, and there will be some other changes and stuff. Okay, but I'm going to raid over to Vince, because he's starting this morning also. All right, so I will check y'all later. Thank y'all very much for tuning in today. I will see you at noon.